good morning and welcome back to the Sachsenring in Germany for round 5 of the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup in 2026. This circuit is tight, twisty, action-packed with barely a moment to breathe when you're on the bike. And I tell you what, there was barely a moment to breathe during race 1 yesterday as well. We look forward to more of it in race 2, but before we get going with everything else, roll the highlights.
You know, who's that down? It's Christian Daniel. Oh, that's such a shame. He was having such a good run of it. He tried to save it.
Oh, down. 2 guys go down.
Oh, it's Beñat Fernandez. Beñat has gone down. Beñat Fernandez gone down at 47. That's Tibor Varga as well.
Looking for an inside line of a change direction. Does he go around the outside down the waterfall? He does to take the lead. Superb. Who can catch Ogiwara on the brakes at the bottom of the hill here?
No one. This is surely it. They're all thinking about each other, Peter. Through the penultimate corner, there could be a lunge coming here.
Yes, I'm sure that David Gonzalez is going to give it a go. He's not going to want to accept second, but can he? He looks up the inside, he can't do it. It's going to be Ogiwara, the Mugello winner. Surely going to win this. It's a short run up to the hill to the start and finish line, and he has it. It's brilliant. Japan that wins.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant from Ogiwara. That is how you make inroads on a substantial championship lead. He halves the lead.
Three, 4 last lap, I pushing again and go in the front, allow 2 or 1. Yes, and I try to make a good lap, not keep the position and try to finish in the podium.
I overtake French in the Tour 5 and then I push hard to catch Oriwara. I catch in the last moment and I can overtake here. I finish second. I am very happy for this weekend, for this race.
Until yesterday qualified, my lap time not coming, grid 14. Wow, this is very, very difficult. Finally, I get victory. Wow, this is amazing comeback. So happy.
Well, there we go. Sensational as always. And you can feel the tension mounting ahead of race 2 here as well. Behind me is the Red Bull Rookies Cup paddock. And I thought I'd give you a little bit of extra tour behind the scenes before we go racing. To my left, you got where the riders' sort of special area is. They're part of the tent where they get changed, get in the zone and everything else. And to my right, where the bikes are all built and maintained through a weekend. Let me show you around. We're starting off really all VIP, access all areas. This is the riders' tent. Looks a little bit barren at the moment as they've all been packing away ready for the second race. But as you can see, each rider has their own chair. You've got the suits in the background. Everybody has their own particular space. And to my right, over my shoulder, that's where the riders store their helmets, gloves and boots. It all goes very quiet before a race where they all have to sit and properly get in the zone. And this is also where riders get their pre-race briefings from Gustal, Danny and Peter as well, the rider coaches. Well, this part of the tent is a tech lover's dream. This is where all the motorcycles are put together, maintained, and even, in many cases, repaired as well. They're all getting ready for the race time as well. You can see it's actually split up into sections. 4 bikes per mechanic, and each rider gets their own individual helper. Next to the bikes, they've got the trolleys, which all come to the grid with all the parts that they absolutely need. And next to the trolleys as well, that's where the riders can sit and chat with their helper and or mechanic to go through where they need to improve after each session. And behind me is the Rookies Cup hospitality, where the riders get fueled up for each and every day and where they get to rest at the end of them as well.
One of the really special things about the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup is that our riders have a dedicated area in the paddock, a familiar place where they can relax, prepare, and share the atmosphere alongside the Moto3, Moto2, and MotoGP teams. So let's dive in straight into the commentary box of Matt Dunn and Peter Clifford to guide you through it.
Well, I'm not sure anybody's convinced that the rookies have a tough life after seeing that, are they, Matt?
Nah, well easy, this high-pressure motorsports game. Too easy, in my opinion. No, I'm joking, of course. It's certainly wouldn't want to be out there on the grid right now. Still tens of thousands of people here stacked around the Sachsenring to watch the Rookies Cup race today. A real cracker of a crowd for today's race. And oddly enough, Peter, when was the last time we were the last event of the day?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit peculiar being at the end of the day, isn't it? Anyway, a nice sort of cooling breeze there, not really spinning the turbines at all, just moving a couple of them. And there is the grid. There's a nice bit of shade there with the umbrellas, and it's certainly necessary because it is a warm day.
Yeah, very warm day indeed as we head down onto the grid as Domi's caught up with Maximo Quiles.
Max, huge congratulations for your second place today. For the rookies, it's going to be a long and hot race with many left-handed corners. So what is the key for a good tire management?
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult for sure. There's many left corners, so they're gonna suffer a bit at the end. But if you do good riding style at the beginning, for sure you have a stronger tire. So for sure it's gonna be really fun to watch.
Well, thank you so much for your advice and all the best of luck in your upcoming races.
Thank you so much.
It was an incredible Moto3 race, absolutely fantastic, and a clean sweep of the podium for ex-rookies, as in fact it was in Moto2 as well. And of course, Maximo Quiles, 9 times Grand Prix winner already.
Yeah, absolutely cracking from him. He's what a turn he's made since he jumped up to the World Championship after he was in rookies previously. Really impressive indeed. Look at that, just so many fans still in the grandstand. I absolutely love this, watching the future of the sport. Let's head back down to the grid though as Domi's catching up with Fernando Bajosa.
Fernando, anything can happen in the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup race. We saw that yesterday, and you're currently third in the standings. So what's the plan today to be on the top?
Yeah, for sure it's super difficult, but the plan today is to be in top 5 all race. For in the last laps, don't fight a lot for be here and manage to have the better tire for the final of the race. And for sure enjoy and pushing the limit like always.
Good luck, thank you.
So Fernando comes off 9th on the grid, the third row there. He finished 9th yesterday, and that's unusual for him. He's normally battling at the front, isn't he? But as he says, you know, you've got to watch. It's 19 laps. There's all these long left-handers, and you've got to look after the tyres a little bit.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, you saw that in all the races today, didn't you? Moto2 especially as well. Moto3 really fanned out. It was a 2-horse race towards the line, and gosh, they even nearly, or I think they might have done actually at the end, lapped a couple of back markers as well, and people who had crashed and remounted and whatever else. As you can hear, the fans going wild for their boy Finn Kratokville on pole position here today. Found yesterday in the heat of the moment. Actually, it might be a bit easier to refer to him as Finn Dog, so that will I'll be doing today. Finn Dog doing really awesome, as was Mike Yu Singapong yesterday on the podium. Key point today though, Peter, he starts from 2nd on the grid as opposed to 22nd.
That's right. Of course, there were penalties for slow riding in qualifying. He was one of those who pushed to the back of the grid, now starting up front. He was very careful with the tyre yesterday. You know, we were discussing, in fact I sort of said, where is he? He's only got halfway up the grid, and then suddenly he was there, wasn't he? He'd saved the tyres for the second half of the race.
Yeah, really clever from him, as Peter nearly dies, unfortunately, as for the commentary box. He's absolutely all right. We all just need a bit of water at the end of a long old day. Been rather warm here today. So here's a rundown of starting grid as they actually qualified on Saturday. So Findog Kratokville there in first place ahead of Singapong, Ramadeepa. Kano, Fernandez and Borg are row 2. Row 3's car pushing Christian Daniel, Fernando Bajosa, Thibaut Varga, Guillaume Plonk and David Da Costa. Da Costa had a great run out yesterday despite those 2 long lap penalties he had to serve. Finished up in 7th. Really well done. Yesterday's race winner and the other podium finisher, David Gonzalez, starting from row 5 today. Ogiwara 14, Sullivan Mounsey 15.
Yeah, and Da Costa was actually said he was disappointed with himself. He, done all the work. He got through to the front, and he really thought that he could really feature in the top sort of 4 or 5 at the end, and it just didn't work out for him. He got pushed wide, got pushed out, and he's determined, very determined to do better today.
Yeah, well, let's see how that one goes then as we plummet through turns 2 into turn 3. Such a particular circuit, this one, Peter, isn't it? We've seen drama throughout the day. 4 races so far today at the Sachsenring, starting off with the Moto4 Northern Cup, which is, of course, on the road to Rookies Cup as well. And they've obviously big inspiration for them, seeing their graduate Finn Paddock in first position. What can they do? What can the graduate do here today in front of the home crowd?
And of course, it's just 17 points now between Bernat Fernandez, who scored nothing yesterday after being embroiled in sort of a 3-bike elbow collision thing, just as actually at the top of the hill here, and he slid off. It wasn't his fault at all. 2 guys touched in front of him, and then he got punted out of the way. It was just one of those racing incidents, but that resulted in no points at all for our cup leader, and his advantage went from 42 points to 17.
Yeah, exactly. Anything can happen in Rookies Cup, can't it? There is your series leader, Bernat Fernandez, already cemented a spot in the Moto3 World Championship for next year with the MTA squad. That was announced. That's the first new signing that there is for the 2027 Moto3 series. So he will be very much hoping to sign off with the Rookies Cup title as a part of a feather in his cap.
And of course, one of those hoping for a much better result today is Christian Daniel Jr., our American, in the middle of the 3rd row of the grid. He unfortunately slid off. Well, very well placed yesterday, just going down through the left-hander, going downhill. And there is the pole man. That's a German hero.
Finn Dog, get after it, mate. You can do it. I always love an underdog or a home hero doing the business on native soil, as Mike Q assumes his position for 2nd spot today.
Yeah, and Finn was 4th yesterday. He really was looking for a podium. So, 19 laps of Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup action here at the Sachsenring, and we're away. Finn gets it rolling well. There's the 85 come alongside. The advantage now with the spread out grid is that Finn leads them into the first right-hander.
That was the dream launch for the German. No chances of Ramadipa going up the inside that time to claim the whole shot. It's all about the German. He's going to hear a roar from the fans that have all stayed to potentially watch a home victory here today. That'll be what they are hoping for. They'll love the sight of this. If, of course, they can actually tell them apart with the only thing distinguishing them all, their helmets and numbers.
Right, down the hill into this long left here, going up through the gears. 5th gear, 197 kilometres an hour, 122 miles an hour along the bottom here before sweeping uphill.
Up from 5th on the grid, series leader Bernat Fernandez looking for redemption today, even though it wasn't his fault yesterday, as Ramadipa looks to go up the inside of Kratochvil. Finn Dog keeps it planted though as they switch it right into turn 11. Down the waterfall we come, plunging for the first time. Many riders very wide there. What happened to, goodness, not even sure who on earth that was, going their names tumbling down the timing screens, but they have got a lot of work to do now.
And Bernat Fernandez up into 2nd place, but Finn goes back inside him, does he? Yes, Finn retakes the 2nd place, out onto the start and finish to complete lap 1. The number 32, it is with the advantage, so Kianda Ramadipa, the Indonesian.
It was Christian Daniel and Yaroslav Karpushin who ended up going really wide down the waterfall, as we see Guillaume Plonk up the inside at turn 1. Cutting very tight line there. On the switch back to turn 2 though, out they come, and it's Ramadipa leading them from Finn Dog, and then in 3rd place we have Carlos Cano now to join the fray.
And Ramadipa finished 5th yesterday, didn't hide the fact that he was disappointed with that. He said he just had no tyres left at the end of the race. He said he's going to play it differently. He said, I might even look at a bit of change to the setup. He said, I've got to make the tyres last longer in race 2.
Ryota Ogiwara up from 14th on the grid to 8th spot now. He's just behind Travis Borg, who started in 7th. Fernando Bajosa, who we heard from on the grid, 3rd position in the standings, up to 6th place at the moment. But this is a cracker of a ride from Guillaume Plonk, who was really miffed at being crashing out of the first lap of the first race yesterday.
down the hill again. It's the number 32 of Kander Ramadipa, the 16-year-old Indonesian. Oh, they're all over each other on the brakes into the left-hander at the bottom of the hill.
Where is David Gonzalez? In the back of this group, up the inside into the final corner. He lets the brakes off, and goodness me, he went from about 8th to 5th in one move. Absolutely brilliant, and that has punched Tocqueville way back down the order. We got a yellow flag at the final corner, so someone has hit the dirt. We'll find out who it is very shortly.
And it's still the 32 of Ramadipa who has the advantage. But it is so slight, isn't it? Down the hill again.
Archie Schmidt has gone down. That's gutting for the Australian. Finished yesterday's 17th spot. The number 18 down and out this time.
Yeah, he'd be keen to try and get going, obviously, if he can.
Still so sunny. I mean, conditions will be very, very similar to what they were yesterday, won't they? But just so much more rubber laid down with the racing as well that's happened so far.
As I say, Ramadipa said he's determined he's going to have to look after his tyres. He said, I might look at a suspension change. So he's leading it. He's not taking life easy. Wouldn't have him plant with the fastest lap of the race so far.
Want to give a shout out to the Brits of the field, Ethan Sparks and Sullivan Mounsey, up into 10th and 11th spot at the moment. Great stuff from them. Ethan Sparks, where did he qualify? Way further down, I was thinking, at 21st, so he's made up 11 spots already. Well done him.
There is the number 23, Travis Borg, the Maltese 16-year-old. Already talking of a possible GP ride for him in Moto3 next year. Nothing's confirmed, but talking to the right sort of people.
Ramadipa leads the way ahead of Plant, Cano, Bahosa, Borg, who Peter just mentioned, the fastest rider on track last time around. Bahosa looking up the inside of Beñat Fernandez, who's currently in 4th position. They've got David Gonzalez for company, yesterday's podium finisher. The German, number 20, sits just behind them.
Bottom on the hill through the right hand and now into the first of the left. Still a tight bunch all the way down, isn't it? You know, most of the way through the field, it's about 20 guys battling at the front there.
Christian Daniels recovering from the early off-track excursion. He's in 10th at the moment. Car Pusher, meanwhile, no such fortune for him right now. He's in 14th. Ogiwara has been pushed back down the order as well. Sits just ahead of the Kyrgyzstani rider in 30th.
Interesting, isn't it, that Ogiwara was a meteoric rise through the field yesterday. He qualified 12th. In successive laps, he went to 8th, then to 4th, and then to the lead. And why can't he do that today?
Well, you say that, but he's just gone back up to 11th, Peter. So maybe he's got an earpiece as well, listening to us, and thought better get the hammer down.
Hammer time, perhaps. Right, the number 11 up the inside and into 3rd place. That is, of course, David Gonzalez, who was superb in 2nd yesterday, finished in 2nd place.
Pugliese, who started 16th, been pushed down to 20th, right at the back of this group. I mean, that is most of nearly all the riders that we have here today. There at the moment in shot, essentially. Christian Daniel, fastest lap of the race then. That was where he went down yesterday. His race chances ended, unfortunately, but today looking a bit stronger.
Right, you really just, I wonder now, the number 11 there, David Gonzalez, moving, I think, trying at least for 2nd place. Maybe he's still in 3rd, but maybe he's a guy who could try and push the limits here and break this 20-rider battle at the front.
Yeah, and what's interesting, Peter, is most of these riders are now doing mid-129s. Now, yesterday, they were setting 129s, 130s. The fastest lap of the race was actually Kander Ramadipa, 128.7. So maybe there is still a bit more in hand. Is this a slow race, do you think, judging by those lap times, or are the conditions very different?
Well, yeah, as you say, there's plenty of rubber down. There's no reason, really. There's no strong wind or anything. It's not overly hot. There's no reason why this can't be a very fast race. And there is the number 11, David Gonzalez, looking for the win. He moves into the lead, in fact. So maybe he can up the pace. He's certainly got the ability. He's got the determination. Can he break this group?
Oh, who's that going by? That's Daniel. I think it's Daniel who's been pushed wide onto the grass that time. I was just about to compliment him because he was really making even bigger moves up the order. As we see, Archie Schmidt has been black flagged after rejoining from his crash earlier on.
Same thing happened to Beñat Fernandez yesterday, if you remember. He had damage.
Oh, wow, Christian Daniel had to really avoid somebody there. Okay, so he didn't actually fall back through the pack entirely, but did he touch someone's rear wheel? Perhaps, not sure. But the American certainly engaged in a bit of drama there as he sits in 10th now, just behind Ogiwara.
Right, so it is the number 11 of 18-year-old.
Oh, who's that down? That is a big crash there. Goodness me, good to see the rider up. It's not Ogiwara, is it? I think it is. It's Ogiwara, yesterday's winner. Oh, this championship keeps taking turns and twists after twist. Goodness me.
Well, there's a bike ahead of this lot, but that will be Archie, I think, who's been black flagged. So, you know, we're watching the leaders now.
Oh, dearie me, I think it's Marulanda who's down now as well.
Yeah, Marulanda's crashed out.
Oh, what a big shame for him on a comeback ride from this weekend as Archie Schmidt just moves out the way, fortunately. But, wow, what happened to Ogiwara? That was such a fast accident, and he skimmed across the top of the gravel right towards the fencing. Glad to see him up, walking away all okay, but that changes everything. Once again, if it finished now, you put the flag out at the moment, then it would be Beñat Fernandez with a 27-point lead with just 4 races left.
My goodness, right, that takes your breath away, doesn't it? And good to see these guys walking away from that. But it is the 32 of Kianda Ramadipa who's back in front. But if he looks over his shoulder at any moment, he's going to see the yellow helmet of David Gonzalez. And Gonzalez looks up the inside,
wow.
in fact.
It's not a common move, is it? Not a common move at all, but very impressive from the number 11. Ramadipa, of course, got his first Rookies Cup podium here last year, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He did, and then led most of the race as well towards it.
Oh, Ogiwara tapped on the power and went down, similarly to Marco Bezzecchi and Fabio Di Gianantonio over this weekend as well. And that was Marulanda. Goodness me.
Yeah, and you can see the Alpine Stars Tech Air gear going off really well and saving the riders there. So good to see that, you know, these guys have the very best equipment. Saves them every time. Oh, my goodness. Right.
Where are we at? It's only 5 laps. 5 laps of 19. Exhausted already.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's you can't have it at the end of the day, stuff like this. Right.
No,
Number 11, David Gonzalez
again
with the advantage. Ramadipa. Carlos Cano is up there now. And up the inside, it's the German hero, Finn again. He's into 3rd place, ahead of Cano.
Finn Dog back at the front. The number 20 finds his path. Back through he comes. We're looking at the 23 of Travis Borg. 7th position for him. Ethan Sparks just behind him. 8th place for the Brit as Beñat Fernandez just displaces Guillaume Plonk, the 24.
Yeah, as you say, you know, we're only a quarter of the way through this.
Well, the lap times last time around mid 129s from everybody, so yeah, they really could be going fast. I mean, yesterday we saw the group split quite a bit, didn't we, Peter? It was quite small in the end. Today, a different dynamic of a race, I think.
Yeah, no one's prepared to put the hammer down. I think they're all worried that they've got to keep some tyre left towards the end. I mean, it's not that the tyres, you know, disintegrate or anything. It's just that they lose the best performance. At least that is the feeling of everybody, and that's what they felt towards the end of the race.
The other thing
you've
got to factor in as well. They've watched, you know, the 3 Grand Prix classes as well, who were watching their race strategy, sat in the Rookies Cup hospitality. You saw that in the pre-show. You know, watching all of the racing. These guys, you know, they're up-and-coming riders for sure, but they already know exactly what to look for when they're watching other riders on track. And they will have seen what they think to be the best strategy today, and they've got to save those tyres.
Right, down the hill again through the left-hander and right. Back briefly to first gear and then climb, go to 2nd. And it's a question of when you pick to choose to change to 3rd. There's no slipper clutch on this, so as you go 2nd to 3rd to 4th to 5th, with it heeled over like that. You've just got to slip the clutch a little bit to take the load off the gears, off the rear tyre, otherwise you're going to promote some difficulties.
All of the riders last time around set 129 lap times, apart from 2 set 130s, but quite low 130s at that.
Singapong was way off in the green there, right at the back of the field. So
14.
Well, he's mucking about.
Not the same kind of form we've seen from Singapong yesterday. You really thought was second on the grid. Could he actually even clear off, perhaps? But the answer at the moment is no.
Yeah, I mean, I think he thought that he might be able to do that too. He didn't.
He's off wide again, Peter.
Yeah. So, but he said he didn't plan to make any changes to the motorcycle. He was so happy with things. So I doubt that he's made a change which has ruined the bike for him. But something's different.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race, the first real 128 from Tibor Varga, who had that coming together yesterday with Beñat Fernandez. So, I mean, that says everything, doesn't it? You know, the guy in 16th position, setting the fastest lap of the race.
And I had a chat with him at lunchtime. He said, Peter, you know, I don't know what happened yesterday, but he said, I said, well, it wasn't your fault, it's just one of those things, it's a racing incident. He said, but it's always me, you know. And he said, look, you know, it was me and Alejandro in practice at Assen, and that was definitely not Tibor's fault. You know, he said it happened to me in Mugello as well. I said, look, mate, you know, Alejandro, that was absolutely nothing to do with you. It's the other, take that away, and it's 2 times out of the year. That's not a statistically significant number. You know, I said, you can look at the videos, listen to Danny Ribolta and Gustav Lauringa, do what they say, and just think, well, am I taking too many chances? Am I putting myself in danger by being too close when I can't overtake anybody? Just think about it and listen to the rider coaches.
Seeing Yaroslav Karpushin move back through the field up to 8th position. He got podium here last year. Saw him in a supermarket in Chemnitz on Thursday, where he said to me he's looking for another podium here today as well. He was there with his family, his helper. I think it's his mum he's got with him.
So, their seemingly ever-present number 11 of David Gonzalez just pulls out of the slipstream and goes for the lead, but
Carlos
up the
Cano
inside.
Up the inside. The 71 moves Ramadeepa out the way.
Right, now, Ken, Cano and Gonzalez up the pace a little bit, as you say. There's something still to come from these men and these motorcycles. You can see there that, you know, the whole field is in the one picture.
Yeah, they're now in late 129s, 130s. They're really, you know, this is a slow race comparatively. I know it doesn't look it, but they're really conserving the tyres. So who's going to pull the pin in just a few laps' time? Gonzalez already got a bit of breathing space.
Well, if we look,
yeah,
if we look at yesterday's race, and Singapore, you know, he really upped pace with about 6 laps to go. So at the moment we've got 8 laps to go, and where is Singapore? Singapore, well, he's got himself up to 14th place. Well, and of course, you know, 14th place, it's still only 1.9 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, so close. Another rider going off there. Goodness me, so wide onto the actual gravel itself. Was that sort of like Bahosa? They sort of plummeted down the order on the timing screens a bit there. Couldn't quite see from the rear.
Right, there's Finn, number 20. He's in 4th place. The pole man, the local hero. Number 24, Willem Clark. Up to 4th place. Down the hill. Up to 2nd place.
Really tricky turn 3. There's a bump on the inside there, which has claimed quite a few riders so far today. Who was that going so wide? Eyes aren't good enough.
Well, I think the focus was a bit...
Heat haze. Solidarity to my fellow camera operators. Heat haze is our number 1 enemy. Especially on days like this, as we got a yellow flag. Oh, I think it's Borg. Borg has departed, plummeting down the timing screens. Cannot see the Maltese rider anywhere. And we have a yellow flag. Yes,
23.
Borger's down. What a shame.
The 16-year-old Maltese. He's been, you know, such a great feature of the race.
Stop with a technical issue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear. Well, that's the second technical issue he's had this year. He'll be gutted with that.
Yeah, not impressed. Anyway, right, back. Number 32 still has the advantage, Ganda Ramadipa, our Indonesian hero. So he's got it back from where, in fact, has the number 11 gone?
Number 11 is in 10th, Peter. He's at the back of that group now. Yeah, exactly. What did happen?
Blink. And he's gone from first to 11.
And the opposite side of the coin, Karpushin back up to 4th position. Brilliant from the Kyrgyzstani rider. Finn Kratokville, 3rd position at the moment. Germany, if you're listening, if you're watching. But it's Ramadipa out front.
And there's number 7, that's the point leader. Of course, has extended his points lead as Ogiwara's already slid out of this race, yesterday's winner.
Yep, so long as he finishes, he will be doing just that. And here's what happened to David Gonzalez. Oh, coming right. Oh,
yeah,
spicy with Benyat. Wasn't Benyat complaining to you that everybody kept barging into him?
Yeah, I think he repaid that a bit there, didn't he? Right. Okay.
Get what you give him, mate.
Yeah. 24, as I say, is Guillaume Planck, the 18-year-old Frenchman.
Sullivan Mounsey, the number 4, up into a much stronger spot. He's got Christian Daniel ahead of him, 6th position for the number 17.
Okay, right, we are now winding down. There are now, we're 14 of 19, so it's time.
6 laps to go.
Yeah, time to see just what's left in those tyres, surely.
Back to the mid-129s as we see some riders starting to go a little bit wide in towards turn 1, a variety of line choices there.
And Yaroslav Karpushin, the 16-year-old from Kyrgyzstan, up in the
down! A couple of riders down in the background. I think one of them is Bahosa. The other one, I'm not sure, it's Benyat Fernandez! It's Benyat Fernandez who's gone down! Well, how about it, Peter? It's all back on. Ramadipa at the moment, live championship standings making inroads. And it is Bahosa and Fernandez. Positions 1 and 3 previously at the start of this race. They are down and out. The top 3 in the championship have not finished this race.
My goodness, wow.
Wow.
I mean, Benyat said it doesn't matter where I am, I always seem to get bumped into. Well, you know, there's another example.
Oh dear.
But the second race running.
Goodness me, that is incredibly unfortunate. Surely we'll get a replay at some stage and we can suss out what really happened. But for now, we return our attention towards the front, which is now a group that's whittled down to 11th spot. Singapong just off the back, battling with Ethan Sparks.
Right. Goodness gracious. Right, Ramadipa with the advantage. Karpushin in a good 2nd place.
Oh, we have a red flag. Red flag, Peter.
Oh, dear.
Lights came on with 5 laps to go. Is that 2/3 race distance?
Yeah, that'll be the race called, I think. Won't it? 5 out of 19 to go. Yeah, that's my maths suggests that is 2/3 race distance.
Well, that is well, a real shame for it to end like that. And of course, we send our very best to Benyat Fernandez, the series leader, and that may well be a result.
Yeah, I would think so. And of course, the result will go back at least a lap from that. We'll get confirmation of that.
And if they cross the line, so
yeah,
if they cross the line, does it go to that lap, or is it the lap before?
I think it's the last time that it depends when they stopped. They're actually all in a group.
Race completed after 14
laps.
Full laps.
Right, yeah. So they're just going to go back a lap because it's when the whole field crossed the line. Did the whole field cross the line before the red flag came out? And
yeah,
obviously it did, so it just goes back that 1 lap.
Well, then we have a result then, everybody. We have a result. We don't know what the result exactly is going to be. Oh, no, we do.
Yeah, because it's come up with 14 laps. So it's Ramadeepa, Karpushing, Kratochvil.
Kratochvil is on the podium, ladies and gents. There are some air horns going off, and that is a result.
And then fourth, Christian Daniel, Guillaume Planck in fifth, Carlos Cano in sixth, Gonzalez seventh, Da Costa eighth, Mounds in ninth, and Ethan Sparks 10th. But of course, we'll wait for official confirmation of that.
Absolutely, we will. Absolutely, we will. As the riders discuss what happened and why, and Ramadeepa getting it confirmed that he is the winner.
Yeah, and none of them want to win it like that.
No. Well, don't want to win it like that, but you'll take it when you get it.
Well, that's right, you know. Yeah.
So really, really well done to all those riders. Finn Kratochvil being told by his dad,
yeah,
you're on the podium, mate.
Yeah.
Good job.
14. So just to reiterate, according to our timing screens, it's Ramadeepa, Karpushing, Kratochvil, 1, 2, 3 for the podium. And Christian Daniel, Guillaume Planck, Carlos Cano, David Gonzalez, David Da Costa, Sullivan Mounds in 9th, Ethan Sparks 10th, Singapong, Varga, Pugliese and Tinez to 14th, the last of the finishers. Yeah,
well,
thoughts, of course.
I think Dakigan, Almeida, Borelli and Van Critter will finish. It's just that they hadn't yet completed the lap.
Yeah.
They needed to throw that red flag before they got to turn 2. So there is Bahosa walking away.
He's obviously okay.
Giant neck on the lad, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a big fella, isn't he?
Yeah, strong, big lad. Right. Motorcycle racer could also be a car racer with forward. A neck like that. Yeah, prop forward. No, he's not fat enough for that. I used to be a prop at one point when I was younger, when I was a lot chunkier.
Oh, come on.
No, I was. I mean, I was rubbish at it, but I was. Anyway.
Right, and of course our thoughts very much with Benyat Fernandez, our cup leader, and that he's going to be okay.
And that's the end of the day's racing at the Sachsenring. If you're still with us, you'll get to watch the podium.
Yeah, and you know, no one wants to finish the race like that, but that, as they say, unfortunately is racing sometimes. And there's Yaroslav Karpushing. Of course, actually, he was third here in race 2 last year, so there's a coincidence, if you like. Another good result at the Sachsenring for the Kyrgyzstan rider.
Well then, the debriefs begin, and the long summer break for our riders now. Well, in terms of Rookies Cup, some of them will be going to the Moto4 European Cup, the Junior GP Moto3 World Championship in a couple of weeks, Magny Corps. But then after that, they I think they have another race at some point in Valencia, but then they'll also be looking forward to coming back. Not in Aragon, it's Misano and Austria, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. That's where our season finished. We have 4 races remaining in Misano. And it's a back-to-back? Yes, back-to-back it is. So Misano, September 12th and 13th is, and in fact the 13th, Sunday, is our 250th Rookies Cup race, believe it or not, on Sunday in Misano. And then just a week later, Spielberg, home of Red Bull, of course, if you like, the national racetrack for Austria. And that is where our season concludes in the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg. And of course, that is Ramadeepa's. Cheers for Finn there in his 3rd place. Ramadeepa's second win of the season. He won race 2 in Jerez. Finn has also already been on the podium. He was with 3rd and 2nd in the 2 races at Mugello, and 4th yesterday, just off the podium. Yeah, it was well. Didn't need to save their tyres in the end then. But what does a home podium mean for Finn Kratochvil? Take it away, Dominika.
Finn, congratulations. 3rd position in your home GP. Quite unusual race with a red flag to finish. But tell us, how happy are you to be on the podium in Sachsenring?
First of all, thank you to all the fans. Vielen Dank alle. Yes, it was an amazing race. I controlled the race quite good. I was there sitting in P2, P3, and I was waiting for the last laps, but in the end sometimes a bit of luck is there, and now today I'm here, and yeah, the P3 feels like a victory here at home, and I'm just super happy, and yeah, danke Sachsenring.
The next round is in Misano and we have a summer break, so how confident do you feel and what will you do during the summer?
Yes, I will work hard and I will prepare for Misano to be back on the podium hopefully, and to stay here and stay in the top.
Thank you. Good.
Yeah, so he's going to be working hard, of course, you know, buoyed by the great results here and determined to go into the last 4 races of the season at full speed, I'm sure.
Well, second place then, Yaroslav Karpushin from, gosh, well, nearly up outside the top 20 almost at one point. Back up to the podium. Great stuff from him. How does he feel about that one, Domi?
Yaroslav, congratulations. Wonderful performance. Talk us through the race.
The race was very nice. I had I was forced to go wide in lap 1 after my friend had a massive high side, almost crashed, but yeah. So I was forced to go wide and lose a lot of positions and basically just try to get back into the first group as soon as possible. It worked out quite well. I think I could have done better, but still I'm happy that I could be in first group. And I just stayed there. Unfortunately, we had a red flag. I hope the guys are okay. That's very important, first of all. And yeah, I would prefer to have a showdown like we had yesterday and just try to do it better. I prefer we have last laps, which are always a show, but still happy like that. I mean, a podium is a podium, and yeah, just gotta keep that same positive attitude going to the next race.
And what are your plans during the summer break?
I think I'll have some rest, but also after half a week, I'll go right back on the bike and start training again to be better and better with every day. And thank you so much to everybody who supported me. It hasn't been easy, to be honest, this season, but I think that I'm doing some progress and people who are around me help me so much doing it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Yaroslav.
Thank you.
Yeah, really nice words from Yaroslav Karpushin. Of course, yeah, wishing the very best to Beñat Fernandez and Fernando Bajosa. Beñat Fernandez in the medical centre receiving the treatment that he needs. We see the German flag aloft, the part firmly, and the Indonesian flag draped round Kanda Ramadipa's neck. Take it away, Dominica.
Second win of the season, Rama. Wow, superb performance, really good on the track. Again, red flag, unusual race, so talk us through it.
Yeah, the race was good, better than yesterday, because I try to manage to stay in the front until the red flag. I don't know, I don't expect this red flag, but yeah, like I just try to stay in the front. I push every lap, and yeah, I don't know. I want to thank all the people who always supporting me, and Red Bull Rookies Cup staff, and also my parents, ayah. Yeah, also all the Indonesian people, Astra Honda. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you all the people who always support me. I can't thank enough to them because yeah, it has been a really difficult last few races for me. This win is very meaningful. Yeah, I hope in the next race I will keep the momentum going. And thank you all. I love you.
Thank you, Rama.
And of course, with 4 races, that's still 100 points on offer for 4 victories. And this is how this race unfolded. They're great action into the first right-hander. Beautiful stuff. It's a great corner, that, isn't it? Really, really test heavy. There were so many possibilities.
Yeah, so technical, so difficult. Just sucks you in downhill. Little crest just before the braking point for these riders. Yeah, let's see. Well then, these were the... Oh! Well, that was Beñat Fernandez. Had his own high side, Peter.
Yeah.
And I think it must have, Bahosa must have got caught up in it. So there we go.
Right, and that's brought out the red flag. Right. Okay, so waiting for some good news from looking for the best. Of course, it seemed to me that Beñat, maybe his feet got run over, but not the more critical parts of the anatomy, let's say. So fingers crossed that he's going to be more or less okay.
Him and Marolander to the medical centre. So keep an eye on the Red Bull Rookies Cup socials or whatever else for updates on them. So
right, so waiting for now the podium here at the Sachsenring, and we're expecting it'd be great to see Adrian Gugamos. He's the trial freestyle rider of Red Bull, one of the great Red Bull athletes, giving out the trophies today. He won his first trials championship aged 8, and since then he's done everything in trials, including and also been a movie stunt double, and he's now the face of trial freestyle. But onto the podium. In third place, under the German flag, is Frin Kadockwil, and then in second place, the Kyrgyzstan rider Yaroslav Karpushin, the 16-year-old, and our winner, Kianda Ramadipa, takes the top step of the podium for the second time this season. And there is the trophies being awarded, as I say, by Adrian Gugamos.
Second place trophy, of course, being given to Yaroslav Karpushin. And then finally, the winning trophy to Kiandra Ramadipa. He lifts it aloft. Very, very chuffed with that one, understandably. So time for the Indonesian national anthem.
Great to see Kianda Ramadipa get the winner's trophy and to sing along with his national anthem. We'll be in Misano for September 12th and 13th. The next races of the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup the following weekend in Spielberg. But until then, it's goodbye from myself, Peter Clifford, and I'll leave you with Matt Dunn and the point scores.
Yes, the riders continue to debrief on the podium. Peter and me will go after this to go and speak with them and catch up on how the race unfolded and do all the post-race show things that you can see on Red Bull TV, etc. So there we have it. The lads pose for the podium photo. And we appreciate the end of racing in Germany. Here are the final results then. Ramadipa first. That's it. No. Karpushin second, Kratokville third, Christian Daniel fourth ahead of Plonk, Cano, Gonzalez, Da Costa 7th and 8th. Mounsey was 9th, Ethan Sparks in 10th. Singapong was 11th. There we go. There's top riders. So as across the line, of course, that time around, I mean, we don't really need to look at the gaps because it wasn't the proper finish. It was sort of winding up for the next overtaking move and things like that. But shout out to the likes of Kano, Plonk for decent results today. As a good weekend from David da Costa as well. 11th, Singapong, who will be miffed with that in the end, of course. Thibaut Varga, 12th. Pugliese, Tinez, Dakigan, Almeida, Borelli and Van Krooten were the last of the finishers. And of course, thinking of all the riders involved in accidents today, glad to see the vast majority of them get up and walking away. But here's what that does to the riders' standings. Beñat Fernandez first ahead of Ryota Ogiwara. Ramadipa moves up several spots into third position. Bahosa in fourth. Gonzalez, Singapong, Kratukville, Daniel are your top 8. 9th, Karpushin, 10th, Kano. Borg, Mounsey, Plonk, Marulanda, Pugliese, da Costa are the top 16. Tinez, Sparks, Dakigan, Agostinelli, Borelli, Varga, Van Krooten, Schmidt, Almeida and Fernandez. Last of the point scorers. These are the highlights from race 2 of the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup in the Sachsenring. Just 4 races to go after this one. This was 5 races to go. Finn Kratukville, the local rider, got a storming start and the whole shot in towards turn 1, much to the delight of the home crowd, who had stuck around to watch their home hero seemingly do, and potentially at this point, do the business. It was David Gonzalez making his way towards the front with Ramadipa there in hot pursuit, as we saw Ryota Ogiwara, yesterday's winner, crash out. We had the number 20 of Kratukville making his way back through towards the podium positions, but it was Ramadipa in charge of everything until this point, as other riders went to overtake him. And then we had Beñat Fernandez and Fernando Bahosa coming together, which stopped the race. Wishing the very best to Beñat Fernandez. And of course, we will see you in, well, a couple of months, I suppose, in Misano. We'll catch you then.